What's good, everyone? You are tuned into episode 15 of Rap and Reason podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dr. Jeremy C. McCool.
And I'm Earl Hopkins.
What's good, bro?
Same old, bro. It's Philly Film Festival. So it's big. I've never
Nice.
seen so many documentaries in like a 2 day period in my life, bro. But this is what it is. It's festival season, especially for films in particular. It's fun, bro. Like you just intermingle, interview a lot of independent filmmakers, man. So it's one of my favorite times of the year doing what I
Nice.
do. But yeah, it can get a little overwhelming sometimes, but that's part of the trade. Yeah, man.
Nice, bro. Yeah, man. We made it to episode 15 too, bro.
That's crazy, bro. This is a big milestone. We just
Facts.
hit 50 plus thousand views on YouTube. Let's continue running that up, bro. I'm
Let's run
excited
it
about
up,
that.
man. That is dope.
Yeah.
I was glad to hit that milestone too, man. And also we leaped that 200 subscriber mark, man. Y'all continue to subscribe. If you watch this channel, if you enjoy this show and some of our content, man, make sure y'all are subscribed, bro. And we'll keep on giving you all the content. And if you all tuned in via Apple or Spotify, make sure you rate us too.
Yes.
We also appreciate you all who are listening the traditional audio way.
Mm.
Absolutely, man. And everything been good with me too, man. Just working. I have a publication coming out this month in the Journal of Media Education that talks about the importance of digital footprints for Gen Z. So that should be a dope one.
Mm.
I'll post it on my socials so you all can check it out. But yeah, man, just working, staying busy. The hip hop class has been dope. This upcoming week, we're talking about what's this week? This week is mental health. And
Okay.
how hip hop has spoken about mental health, which is of course a huge thing. So they're listening to everything from uh Biggie Smalls suicidal thoughts to Mom Playing Tricks on Me by Ghetto Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a lot of good music that they're consuming this week, man. And we have a great discussion about that tomorrow. So yeah, man, been a good week thus far. And a lot of things have happened in music since the last time we met.
Let's talk about it.
a
Let's
lot
talk
of th-
about it.
a lot of things, man. So we got a lot to cover, man. This is gonna be one of those shows where we show our range as podcasters and as media
Yes.
professionals because we're all over the place. So we have J. Cole to talk about, GloRilla to talk about,
Yeah.
Mos Def to talk about. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, all over the place, but all dope stuff. So let's get it kicked off, man, with J. Cole. This past week,
Let's do
J.
it.
Cole released a song called Port Antonio. He released this in an unorthodox way, I'll say. He
Mm.
released it straight to his YouTube channel and Instagram, which I think is a different thing that we've been seeing a lot more of from artists. Not releasing it to the traditional DSPs such as Spotify, Apple, et cetera, et cetera. So on first listen, what did you think about it?
I thought it's fire. Like I just love hearing Cole on this type of beat just flowing, bro. He's in his natural state. Like this is where he's on easy mode. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a big fan of Cole. I respect him as an MC, always have. And it's for moments exactly like this. What's that sample on the beat? It's like a slowed down version of what is it?
That's Dead Presidents.
Dead president. So
Absolutely.
with something like that, bro, Cole is always gonna win. Like that's what you can expect from him. So the bars are sharp. And I feel like he's building momentum for the next album. So I'm just excited to see him continue that road, bro. Like he's on a different type of wave right now. We talked about it in the past couple episodes of just how he's really capturing just a revitalized energy, which never left, but it's like, he got to get time to rev it back up. You know what I'm saying? Not that he needs to remind anybody of what he's capable of doing, but it's moments like these where we just get even more excited as Cole fans. So yeah, man, he
Yeah,
killed this.
absolutely, bro. And I couldn't agree more, man. Like I have to say, it's important to note, man. I think J. Cole has gotten even better at rapping. Like,
I
and I
think
feel like a
so.
lot of times we see people kind of fall off once they've been out for this long, as far as how much they want to exercise their lyricism. But J. Cole is like elevating his, and this is like he's rapping at one of the highest levels that I've heard him rap, and he definitely shows it on this song, man. A lot of slick lines, metaphors, great storytelling.
Yeah.
Um, just the writing on it is just amazing. Like even if it was on a sheet of paper and you were reading it, it would be amazing. Like it's
Mm,
that level of lyricism that he's showing in here, man. So yeah, I got to say the same thing, man. J. Cole is on a run, and the fact that he's doing this pretty much
yeah.
weekly at this moment of
Yeah.
putting out work, it lets me know that he has to be building up to an album. And I'm looking forward to hearing the fall off, man. I think that it's he has people's attention right now as far as looking to hear the bars, hear him rap, and hearing what he has to say. And like I said, he always makes sure to include substance in his raps. You know what I mean? And I think
Mhm.
that that's not to be overlooked. I think that in here, and him even talking about his upbringing a little bit more in here, and get diving deep, and we'll get into the Drake part in a minute. But I think just off first listen, man, the production is amazing. The chorus, the ride to it, it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a fire song. I'm gonna be honest, like. This is one that I'm going to be going back to. I'm kind of upset that he hasn't put it on DSP because I want to listen to it on Spotify. You know what I mean?
Without
Uh,
burning up my data. Like, come on
you
now.
feel me? Without having to go to YouTube
Right.
to listen to it. But yeah, man, all in all, I think it's just a dope song. Great rapping, great production. The
Mm.
Dead President sample, while used a lot, probably a little too
A
much.
lot.
A
Yeah.
lot. That's one
Mm.
that they have definitely ran into the ground. But this one was used right. Like this
Yeah.
one was like one of my favorite ways that it's been used. And yeah, like I said, I love the song overall. So okay, sound like we're on the same page as far as the actual song itself and the
Right.
content.
Mhm.
Now on what is it, the second verse where he decides to
Or
speak
third.
third
Whatever.
verse.
Whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the last verse where he decided to speak on the whole Kendrick and Drake debacle that took place as far as their back and forth and war of words. I'm not gonna call it beef because I mean it was really just a rap battle. But
Right.
their situation back and forth. I think that he spoke on that in an interesting way. What did you think about the way that he spoke to that?
Whew. So okay, so so I feel a couple ways, yo. So I feel like okay, it's in line with the Cole that we know, right? Like we know him to kind of be, I don't want to say a diffuser, but he's not with the hoopla. You know what I'm saying? And so his approach in the rap battle, in a sense, like it's something that we kind of, it's not outside of his character or frame. Like he talks about being the best rapper. If anybody was were to ever test him, he got some words for him, right? But like we also know him to be someone who kind of veers away from that type of like behavior, those type of acts. So when he took kind of like I what others would consider the high road when Kendrick and Drake started going against each other, I wasn't surprised by it, but I was disappointed by it. So him addressing this on Port Antonio, the way he did, like I said, it's something that I'm not surprised by, but I'm a little disappointed by at the same time. This isn't what I really want to hear. I'd rather him have just moved past it. At the same time, could he have gone by without addressing it completely? I don't think so. So I think that's why he actually took that step to address it, is because he felt like he had to, right? The
Yeah,
dust has settled a little bit. What better moment than to, say his views on the situation where he's like, yo, I didn't really want to lose a brother in Kendrick. And also like I respect Drake enough to not really get in the mix either on either side. Um, that neutral end of it, bro. Like I'm kind of like whatever to it. Like I don't feel any way on either side about it. It's kind of just like okay, whatever. Like we saw what happened.
yeah,
Why even bring it up if you're going to like have this stance? You already did what we know what we knew, or what you said. We already knew you did that. So what's even the point of bringing it up? Like I don't
right.
know. That's how I feel about it. But
No,
yeah,
I felt the same way listening to it, man. It was like this is so unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like
right.
I get venting, and I think he did it well as far as the way he wrapped it and the metaphors and
Mhm.
everything that he used to kind of tell the story. But at the same time, it was like, bro, just like I thought we moved on from this. Like, what are we doing? Like,
Right.
and there was some lines that I'm not gonna lie. When I heard it, I was like, bro, this sounds a little dramatic. Like when he
Yeah.
said I walked away from the battle with the blood on me, it was like, okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
making this sound a little bit more dramatic than what it is. But there was certain lines that I definitely was like, all right, this is a little much. But But I get it. I think that he really wanted to play the position of somebody who was in the. Sorry, I think it's fire alarm going on. Pay that no mind. But I think he was wanted to play his position of um showing a little love to Drake, because I think that's what
Right.
this one sounds more like. He doesn't mention Kendrick a lot in this one. He more
Mm-hmm.
so focuses it on Drake and saying,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Drake, you've done a lot for me and all of that. And I think that that's his way of kind of like being like, hey, I'm not on Kendrick's side here.
Right.
I'm in the middle. Did I
Mm-hmm.
think it was necessary? Not really.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can understand why he would want to do it, especially if he has a close relationship with Drake. I get it.
Like for me, like when it comes to moments like those, I'm someone who feels like silence is power. Like
Mm,
he already addressed what he did on Honestly Never Mind. Like he had that track, I'm forgetting the name, but he ended up like scrapping it from DSPs, right? Like directed at Kendrick. We already know how you feel, bro. Tell us something new. Like if you're
right.
going to open up and talk about this, tell us something we don't know. Tell us that like you and reveal what I mean, they wouldn't do this, but reveal the intricacies of you and Kendra's conversation that led to your neutral stance. Like, or tell
Right.
us, give us more insight into why you felt so empowered by you and Drake's relationship that you double down on your peaceful, nonviolent kind of like stance on that end.
And
Like I would rather know something like that versus you just regurgitating a situation that number one is old. In hip hop, 4 months, 5 months is old.
it's
It's old
old.
news. So what was even the point in sparking that up if there was nothing really for us as rap fans and listeners to take away from it that was unfamiliar or exciting? You know what I'm
And,
saying?
and I'm be honest, and that this could just be my petty brain in the way I think. But when you one line on there, if I'm Kendrick, I might be like, okay, you got to show me, because
Mm.
he says a line in there where he says, and I caught it immediately when I heard it. He says, "I wouldn't have lost the battle. I would have lost the bro." So that means
Mm.
you're telling me that you would have smoked me. That's what you're saying. You're
Mm.
saying that I would have beat you if we had a war back and forth. That's
Mm.
what I hear. I don't know
Mm.
what you hear when you hear that, but if you say I wouldn't have lost the battle, I would have lost a bro. So you're saying you would have won the battle. You know
You
what I mean?
you could take it. See, that's the type of coalism that I'm talking about, where it's like it's two sided. Oh,
Yeah.
I would lose such a close friend, da 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 da, or I lose a brother because I'm really about this, bro. Like you could take it either way, for real. You could,
Right. But he's saying I wouldn't have lost a battle though. So
yeah,
if you
yeah.
don't lose, would you win? So I'm trying to, you know,
Mm,
I'm gonna be
okay.
honest. You know, if you're gonna apologize and let it go, you gotta let it go. But don't be, you know. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know how Kendrick would have heard it, but when I heard it, I was like, "Oh, you still sound like you want smoke a little bit."
You know what that reminds me of now that I think about it? That's like some two dudes get into a beef, it de-escalates, but the one dude of the two says, okay, that's what I thought. Like,
But
hold
yeah,
on, bro. Like, no. What are you thinking? Because we can still make it happen. So
right.
if I was Kendrick, I would kind of
Yes.
take it as that slight moment. Like, oh, you was about to do what? Or say, huh?
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
It's definitely one of those moments of like man, I wouldn't let him talk to me like that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, oh,
Right.
what you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? It's definitely one of
Hmm.
those moments that that's how I heard it. That might be our
Yeah.
man ego,
Yeah, it is.
way of
It
thinking about
is.
stuff for sure. But that's what I
Yeah, yeah. Because we know how people think. We know how men think, bro. So yeah, I 100% think Cole does feel that way. But you can't.
yeah,
I feel like you can't have certain stances if you took that route. Like again, silence to me is power.
I
Some
agree.
things are better left unsaid.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have addressed it at all, but especially this way, while it wasn't bad, it wasn't negative in scope. It was just kind of unnecessary, like you said. I agree.
yeah, and I think it's unnecessary because he had already been putting out music. So it's
Right.
like you've already made music since, and like that have moved
Hmm.
past it. But for some reason, I guess he felt like something like that. There was still a piece that was left undone, and
Hmm.
he had to kind of like, you know, he needed some closure, I guess I would say. So maybe that's what it was. And like I said,
Yeah.
the song is dope. So I'm
It's
glad we got
dope.
we got another fire song from Cole. I just didn't think it needed that part in the song. The song was hard already. I don't think that added anything to it for me.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's odd, like, because unlike Cole, this is veering away from the Cole thing, but I remember listening to the game and or reading the caption that the game wrote. Obviously, he being from LA and him like having close ties, collaborations with Drake, he took an interesting stance on the whole situation where he was kind of neutral in a sense. But like I feel like J. Cole's is more genuine. It sounds more genuine. And I
Yeah.
think this song is a reflection of it. But I mean, I don't know these people, bro. Who knows?
That's the
But
thing. We don't know any people.
yeah,
All we could take is the music. You know what I mean?
right.
And
Literally.
that's all we could take from it. And I think that it's like I said, Cole is great at storytelling. So
Hmm.
regardless, like when I heard the way he told the stories was amazing.
Yeah.
So if he felt like he needed to get it off, hey, go for it. Um, just hopefully it does not spark somebody, Kendrick to be like, you know what?
I don't think I want to see that. I just wouldn't want to see it. I think what happened is happened. It's already stamped in hip hop history. It's right on the pillars. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to see that. But again, we can't be surprised, bro. Like, you know what I mean? We've already been surprised already.
And we already wanted the Kendrick and Cole tape. You know what I mean? We wanted that. We
Right.
wanted the album or tape together. You know what I mean? I don't know if we're at a point where we're still gonna get that, but us rap fans still have hope alive for there
For
to be
sure.
a collaboration between them two. And I think hip hop needs it, man. And like I said, for anybody who is a new listener who doesn't know, me and Earl are currently writing a book about Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. So they've already given us one additional chapter to write. So
Yeah.
them going back and forth will add another one to that. So
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
as a rap fan, I would love to see it. As an author, on the other hand, it
I'm
would
like,
make our
stop.
lives difficult.
Yeah. Right, right. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a big task already, but I get it.
Yeah, but dope overall, man. Shout out to Cole. He's still, like I said, rapping at an elite level. If you have not heard that song, I would highly recommend it because it's just a hard song in general,
It
man.
is.
Poor Antonio. Check it out. Like I said, he flips the
Mm.
Dead President's beat. It's like a slowed down version of it, and it's hard. It's one that sounds good in the whip. So definitely check it out if you haven't. Speaking of songs that are good in the whip or artists who sound good in the
Mhm.
whip, there's another album that we need to review that has everybody talking
Yes.
right now. And that is GloRilla's album Glorious. Now,
Glorious. Yes.
you know that this is typically not my bag. You know what I mean? I will say
Yeah.
that I have came on here and said though, out of that crop of rappers who've come out, GloRilla's music, she has some hard ones that I appreciate. Yeah, Glow was one that caught my attention. When I heard it, I was like, she sounds kind of Project Pat like to me. And I'm somebody who likes
Almost, yeah.
Project Pat. That's that Memphis, the sound. She got a deeper voice. It just kind of reminds me of Project Pat a little bit. So like a female version of Project Pat. So it was definitely I've heard talent there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And there are some other rappers I won't name. There's one in particular who I just refuse to listen to, and I'm standing 10 toes
And she's
down.
on this album. Absolutely.
I feel like they're an industry plant. You know what I mean? I feel like some of the powers that be were like, hey, we're gonna find the most worst black stereotype, the most ignorant person. I guarantee we could try to make her a superstar, and I think that they've done it. So that person, I'm not. That's why I draw my line. That's my line. Everybody got a
Right,
different
right,
line. You feel me? That's
right.
the one where I'm like, I'm just not gonna be able to tune in. But
Eh, Yeah.
GloRilla is not that. So initial thoughts on GloRilla's album.
So initial thoughts on Glorious. I think what makes GloRilla like GloRilla is what I like most about this album. I love those hard hitting beats, that southern draw, that southern like that unquintessential like Memphis sound. I think she handles that better than almost anybody, right? Especially right now. So I love like Hold On, I love Procedure with Lotto. I love tracks like Step with Boss Mandilo, Let Her Cook. All these I Ain't Going. I love all these hard hitting subwoofing. I don't even know if that's like a a word, but like we're gonna make it a word today. She knows how to handle that so well, bro. Like she just knows how to make a street hit. And just like a TikTok viral S like type of song. I think Hold On, like that's a single we heard and talked about previous episodes. That's
Yep.
probably my favorite song on this album.
Okay.
And yeah, and the song with Meg, yeah, How I Look, like these joints, like she knows how to like get to her audience. She knows how to, do this type of sound, make this type of music. So GloRilla, like Glorious, overall, I feel like the album is kind of like, I think it's a little forgettable, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's like it feeds her audience. Whatever they want, they're looking for out of GloRilla, they'll find it. I think where it loses me is towards the middle. With songs like Don't Deserve or Rain Down on Me. Like, it's not that these songs are inherently bad. It's just I don't think GloRilla is there as an artist quite yet for these to like fully land. Or maybe I'm just blinded by the fact I'm hearing her with a ratchet friends. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
I'm used to that GloRilla. So maybe I just can't really, maybe I'm biased in that front, but I just don't think it lands. Like, I just didn't envision a collaboration with Kirk Franklin and Mooney Long. Like, I just like when I think GloRilla, I don't think that. Now she grew up in the church now. She that's the Bible Belt. You know what I mean? So it shouldn't be too outside of realm, obviously. But for me, it just doesn't really sound like authentic enough, or it just doesn't seem like she's mature as mature of an artist for this to land. But I do love the fact that she stuck her neck out there and actually attempted to do it. She actually did a song. I'm gonna give her credit. I think what was it? What was it? Was it she did like more conscious messaging with
Mm-mm.
one of these songs. I'm
Are,
forgetting
are,
what it
are,
is. You might know it.
are you talking about the I ain't going?
I ain't going. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And so I love that she was talking about those type of things, man. Like that's the type of growth and versatility I like to see in these type of artists because you don't really find it anymore.
Yeah.
So credit to her on that front. Overall, like I think there was some forgettable moments, but I think overall, not to be too harsh. I'm harsh on artists sometimes. This is a good album. You know what I'm saying? For what
Yeah.
it is and
And
who it's
I
by.
and I would agree. I think it's a solid album. I
Mhm.
honestly it surpassed my expectations for it.
Mm.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I didn't go in expecting much in there, but there were some songs on here
Mm.
that I was like, okay, like the song with her and Meg, fire. Like how I
Heat.
look, I was like, that's going up. Like as soon as I heard it, I was like, yeah, this is hard.
That's
Like
gone.
that one, Let Her Cook, another one that I thought was
Yeah.
dope. There's a few of them that I thought was dope. I agree with you on some of the songs that she tried to kind of go a little bit deeper on. Rain Down on Me with Kirk Franklin. I wasn't mad at it, believe it or not.
Okay.
That one. When I first saw that Kirk Franklin was on the album, I was like, "What are we doing here?"
Right.
And it's funny because I was just talking to my students about Kirk Franklin collaborating with hip hop artists, and I think that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This one I wasn't mad at. Am I gonna listen to it again? No, but
Mm.
it was okay. It was an
Yeah.
okay collaboration. I could tell that she really put some time into her lyrics on there, more so than some of the other songs on here that I heard. Um,
Yeah.
One thing that I wouldn't say on this album is that I think GloRilla needs to get around some more writers. I think
Mm.
there's sometimes she has ideas that could be executed further,
Yeah.
but she just doesn't. But I think she needs some more writers around her. Like I said, she might have her friends in the studio with her and just be vibing, but I think that she needs somebody in there who's gonna push her lyrics a little bit further. Because she had one of the songs that you mentioned that I really did like was "I Ain't Going." Like that
Yeah.
song is really just talking about domestic violence. And I mean, that's really what that one is
Mm.
focused on and talking about, her defending herself of a man tried to put their hands on her, all of that. And I thought
Mm.
it was a dope concept. And it almost reminds me of like a Love is Blind by Eve. You know what I mean? And
Oh yeah.
I think it had the chance to be that, but I think that there was nobody who pushed her lyrics far enough for it to be executed to its full potential.
Mhm.
But I thought it was good still. You know what I mean? I thought it was good, and I definitely salute her for trying to push the needle a bit further. She could have easily made a whole club album, but
Right.
on this, she decided to make songs that were a little bit outside that comfort zone. I was listening to it with my girlfriend in the car. She even was like, she mentions God a lot in this, which is shocking to me. And
She
I
does.
agree. She mentions prayer, God a lot in the album, which lets me know that she was definitely trying to dive a little bit deeper outside of her normal comfort zone. So
Mm.
definitely some songs on here that are forgettable. I agree with you on that front. There's some songs on here that I definitely won't go back to. Um, what did you think about the "Wipe Me Down" flip?
I like the beat. I don't know if I like the song. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if I like the song, but yeah,
I wasn't that crazy about it. But just because I mean, "Wipe Me Down" is already hard, so it does.
yeah,
Some songs it's hard to sample if you're not really gonna go all the way in. And she
right.
pretty much kept the same flow that's already on "Wipe Me Down." She did Boosie's flow on there. I think it's okay, but I think that "Wipe Me Down" is already so classic that it's a hard joint to be able to remake. Um,
Certain songs just don't need to be flipped, bro. Like,
yeah,
that's
because
also a
"Wipe Me
thing.
Down" is
Yeah.
almost a Negro spiritual at this point. You know what I
It
mean? "Wipe Me
is, bro.
Down,"
Like, yeah,
swag surfing. There's certain hip hop songs that are just like they become a part of the culture so much that it's hard to remake it. And I think that that's one of those moments. But I don't think it was bad. Um,
yeah,
yeah. And
yeah.
Glow's prayer, I appreciate it. I thought that was
I
cool.
appreciate it.
You
Yeah,
know,
I didn't like it.
yes.
I didn't like it, but I get it. Like, you're right though, bro. Like, when it comes to like her lyrically, maybe being around some other writers or just more seasoned
Yeah,
artists
I
can
agree.
help her out, because like I feel like she hits something, like she'll hit an emotional note, and
Yes.
then she be like, and my moose knuckle, it goes down. Immediately goes down. And then she'll like go
Here you
back
go
up.
again.
I know it's a return of the moose knuckle. I was thinking I was thinking about that when I was listening to this, bro. But it's the same thing. It's like, bro, give us the emotional note in full. Like, get deeper.
I
Just go
agree.
deeper. Don't give a surface. Like,
and,
you're
and I
right
agree.
there.
And I think that certain points on here when she goes deeper into talking about maybe her past relationships, I could tell that she doesn't want to go full vulnerable. So she'll switch back into, I don't care about these N word, I don't care about these men, whatever. Like it goes back into that bag, and you can tell that it's not fully vulnerable yet, and it's gonna
Right.
take her time. She's still a younger artist. But I think
Yeah.
that the more she makes those type of songs, I think we'll hear a little bit more of those layers peel back and her go a little bit deeper into into her background, her growing up,
Yeah.
all of that. I think that there's more to her. I think she sounds good. I think that it just needs polishing. But overall, it wasn't a bad album. I'm being honest. Like I said, it
Yeah.
surpassed my expectations for the album for sure.
For sure. Same with me. And again, this isn't our bag. I don't usually go to like
No.
a GloRilla full project, a Meg full project. It's just not my thing. It's not inherently what I want to listen to. But when you spend time with these artists, it you get a deeper understanding in the sense of, okay, I understand why people like have an affinity for this person's music. Again, Sexy Red doesn't do it for me. The Hot Cheeto breaths rap stars,
You're
again, not for me.
hilarious. You're
Yeah, I'm just
hilarious.
saying. I'm
You're
just saying.
hilarious.
I know she got the red food coloring under her, but so my thing is that's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'll leave it at that.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. This is not my
Yeah,
bag. You know what I mean? And here's the
yeah,
thing. I think it's dope now. One thing that I will say on a positive note about it, because I don't have that much positive about this genre of rap, but this subgenre, I will say. But the one positive I will say, I think it's cool that girls now have a variety of different artists that they can listen to and vibe with. You know what I mean? They got
right.
hard ones, they got the more sexualized ones who make that type of music. They have the
Mhm,
more of the conscious ones starting to come out, but aren't rising to where I'd like to see them. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Like the Rhapsodies. That I think that there's cool that there's more of a
No
variety.
cheese.
The
Yeah,
Doshis, right, who are a little bit more on the lyrical side. You know what I mean? So I think even Lotto, it's not my type of messaging, but I can acknowledge that she can rap. You know what I mean? A
right.
lot of them I'm not gonna be able to listen to often just because I don't resonate with their messaging. You know what I mean? So what they're
Mhm.
talking about doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't pertain to me or my life, so I can't fully engage with it with some of these artists. But at the same time, I can still acknowledge when there's some good music on here. Like I said, the song with her and Meg is definitely gonna stick around. There's a couple
For
songs on
sure.
here that are gonna stick around that I can salute. So yeah, so shout out GloRilla for sure.
Shout out to her. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice review.
I think it was. I think it was fair. I think it was a fair review. That's
Yeah,
all I try to do. That's all I try to do is be fair.
yeah, be fair. You know what I'm saying? Point out the pros, the cons. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And whenever we don't point out any pros, it's because we don't see any.
Tommy
So
Grisham. So no, I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. You know what I mean?
sometimes there aren't enough pros to point out, but whenever there are, we're gonna always point out the good in the album as well. So um
Right.
we have a big transition. Do we put a transition in between this? Let's see if we have a. I
I don't
don't
know
think
if we
we did.
did.
I don't think we did. So this is I don't know a way to transition into this, but there is another hip hop album that is
Yes.
um more definitely more my bag. I don't know how big of a fan of you are this like of this album are you, Earl? Because this is one of mine.
Um, I'm kind of like, uh, I would say like I understand it's a classic album. I can understand and appreciate a classic album that I don't revisit that often. Like I
Okay.
understand this. This is one of those albums for me. Like it's
Okay.
heralded and it deserves to be heralded, but I'm not usually going back to it outside of maybe like 4 to 5 songs. But it's dope. It's a dope
And,
album.
and see me, I'm on the end where I might not listen to it all the time, but this is one of those albums for me that I love. And it's not only an album that I love. I always say there's about 10 albums in hip hop that if there was an alien who came down to Earth and was like, what is hip hop? I would be comfortable giving them this album and it defines what hip hop
Mm,
is. This is one of those albums
okay.
for me. It's one of those albums where I feel like I could show this to somebody and say, hey, this is what hip hop is. And I would be
Yeah.
comfortable with them leaving with this is what the genre of hip hop is. There's a few albums
Okay.
like that. Illmatic is like that with me. Outkast has a couple albums that are like that with me. College Dropout is like that with me. There are certain albums that I think are complete enough where I think they represent the culture well. And this is one of those albums, man. So without further ado, this is the 25th anniversary of Mos Def's album Black on Both Sides, which is came out of the Ruckus Records camp and label, who put out a lot of artists. For anybody who's not familiar with Ruckus Records, they put out artists such as Common, Talib
Hmm.
Kweli, Pharoah Munch, a lot of the artists that kind of built the formula for what we now see as modern conscious rap music.
For sure.
For the 90s for sure. So
Hmm.
what did you think about it the first time you heard this?
The first time I heard it, wow, I was probably like 14 or something. Like, so
Mm,
obviously this came out 2 years after I was born. I'm not listening to this in
no.
as an infant, essentially.
Right.
Um, but when I first heard it, I was like taken aback. Like, I think a lot of people who aren't familiar with Mos Def, now known as Yasiin Bey, like whoever isn't familiar with him as a solo artist, more knows him more so as a member of Black Star. I think the first song that introduces you to Mos Def or it's Miss Fat Booty. Like that was the song
Yeah.
that like introduced me to him. And so I went back to the album. Shout out to Pandora. Pandora, I know people don't listen to Pandora anymore, at least not like they used to, but that introduced me to so many people.
Facts. Pandora
Oh
was
my God.
cool, man.
It was. And so listening through Pandora, this came on, Miss Fat Booty came on. I was like, yo, what is this? Who is this? Right. And so I go back to him. I knew Mos Def as an actor. And what's that hip hop movie that we love with Sanaa Lathan,
Oh, you talking about
Dick.
I know when they with the label
Yeah, with the label. Wow, this is
Brown
crazy.
Sugar.
Brown Sugar? So I watched him in Brown Sugar, connected the dots, and to this album, yo, like first hearing it, I was like, this is a really good album. I was in a period phase where I was listening to a lot of like similar like music, right? So late 90s music, early 2000s, I had remnants of this. Um, but I don't think I connected with it as much in full as I would even now. I think like now I have a deeper sense and appreciation for like songs like what is it? New World Water. Like I have a deeper
Mm-hmm.
appreciation for music like that that has to do with like something like a social issue or climate related issue, I guess in this sense. Now that I'm an adult, I'm more well read, I'm more experienced. And so this is the album for a pure hip hop fan, but also an experience in season one too. So that's why I can say now I appreciate it more than I did as a teen, for sure.
Absolutely, bro. And same here. I think I discovered this album probably in I might have been in middle school, man. I have a cousin named Curtis, and I remember that these are MP3 player days. I remember my cousin that
Mm.
put me on a lot of the like not underground, but more of the more traditional hip hop artists by just uploading a lot of those songs to my MP3 player at the time, man. And I remember Mos Def was one of those who was featured on a song that was on there, and that made me dive
Mm.
deeper into Mos Def's works. around middle school, early high school. And I remember like listening to it and being like, man, like this is different. And this album particularly stood out to me. Songs like Mathematics that were just like amazing, like
Yeah.
just made you really think and spoke on so many social issues. You know what I mean? And then even songs that were a little bit different, like a got, you know what I mean, where he's talking about how
Mhm.
flashiness can get you robbed, you know what I mean,
Right.
and the mindset of somebody who is robbing somebody, and also the mindset of somebody who is being as flashy as possible, you know what I mean. And I think that even
Mhm.
songs like that stood out. And yeah, man, I this is one. Miss Fat Booty, of course, is just a classic song.
Classic, bro.
um and yeah, man, this is one of those albums that I just love. And even the joint on here with Busta Rhymes, man, know that. No, no, not know
Know
that.
that.
Do It Now is the one.
Do it now. Fire.
Yeah, Do It Now is the one with Busta Rhymes, which is with them two going back and forth is just amazing. Like,
Mhm.
and I think Mos Def is one of those artists who will be looked at in history as being so influential to other artists who came out. Like, I don't think we get a Lupe Fiasco without Mos Def.
No.
You know what I
Mm-mm.
mean? That he altered the way that a conscious rapper presented their message. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
It's for the calm delivery with the intricate flows. He just kind of changed what those artists would end up sounding like. So I definitely think that this is one of those albums that is just a staple. Yeah, man, and not a lot of wasted space in here. Like, it's not a lot of songs on here that I listened to, and I think it was just like, oh, this was just a throwaway. Like, there's not many
Right.
songs on here that I don't like, and even the one "Know That" with Talib Kweli, like a dope song. Their project together, man, their project is Black Star together is just crazy.
Phenomenal, bro.
Another classic album that I definitely recommend anybody who has never heard it. I think it's a self-titled album. I believe it's called Most Def and Talib Kweli presents Black Star, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And
Um,
High Tech doesn't get enough credit as a producer, bro. Like
Facts.
he does not get his just due, bro. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Maybe it didn't have as big a mainstream appeal as maybe like some of the other producers of that era or
Well,
ever since.
I also
But yeah.
think that that was the era before producer tags. So there's a lot of producers
Mm,
from that era that didn't get as much credit as like producers now because you hear their
that's
little
true.
tag at the beginning of the song.
Yeah.
So that it's like if High Tech had a little High Tech on the beat, no, that'd be crazy.
What's
But
up?
if he had a little tag at the beginning, I feel
Yeah.
like it probably would have got more credit.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of dope producers from that era who don't really get the credit or like aren't household names like how
Yeah.
a lot of producers are now, man. That definitely High Tech is definitely one of those.
For
And yeah,
sure.
yeah, man, this project, like I said, Mos Def to me is one of the most interesting, I think, rap artists. And it's unfortunate that he doesn't really put out music as often anymore, but he's put out so much good stuff that like there's enough to pull from, you know.
For sure.
And he's also on that rapper list for me of like you can't really name a lot of people who rap better than Mos Def.
Yeah, you can.
Like Mos Def is on a tier where there's only like if I had to put together a list of like top 10 lyricists, like I don't think I can make that list without putting Mos Def on there.
Yeah,
Um,
and the crazy thing, you're right. Like he was almost not reluctant, but he just it didn't seem like music was as big a passion for him as it was for Talib, obviously, because Talib went on and continues to make music even now. But after like the new, what is it, the new Danger, or what was that album that came out in '04?
it was that one was good too. It's
Yeah, it was.
let me see.
Yeah.
I feel like I gotta look now. Now that is you're talking about yeah, the new danger.
The new Danger, ever since that, it's been kind of sparse for
Yep.
him like releasing music. He's delved into other things within
Acting.
entertainment, which
Yeah.
is yeah, which is cool. He went to in high school, he was acting. So it kind
Yeah.
of makes sense. But I just wish we got more consistent most of that music. But again, I love what I do appreciate about this album. I'm gonna be honest too. When I was revisiting the project, I was like, yo, there was a time in you and I's lives where we thought I could probably rap. Like, why not? Like,
Yeah, of course.
cool. And then you listen to this and you be like, there's levels for a reason, bro. You feel me? Like,
There's rap and then there's
yes,
rap. Like
rap. There's
this level of rap.
MCs and there's people that can put a couple sentences together. Like, nah, this is next level. Mathematics, listen to that, bro. I'm like, this is next level. Like you can't replicate this for real
And to
unless you
think
just
that
have
this was
the time.
made 25 years ago.
That too, bro.
Like
Insane.
hip hop is around 50, 51 years old. This was made at the halfway point of hip hop.
Wow. I didn't even think about that.
Like,
Wow.
like
Yeah.
this is that early. It's early enough where it's like like I said, there aren't many projects now that are coming out that's where there's somebody rapping on this level
Nah.
at
Nah.
all. At all. There's
He's
probably only
different.
3 artists who can rap on this level who are out right now. And I
Yeah.
mean, I what Kendrick, Cole, JID,
Who else?
Kendrick, Cole, JID
Who else, bro? I don't know.
that are mainstream.
That mainstream, I
I mean, there's
couldn't
some
even
other
tell.
rappers like you got the Ab-Souls and the Daylights and all of
Of
those. But I'm talking
course,
about as far as
that's a
like
given. Yeah.
that are more mainstream, like not really. And I
Yeah.
think that what Raucous Records did, man, as far as I gotta shout them out, man, because they really gave some of the artists a chance to shine that typically record labels weren't investing in during that time.
Right.
Like a Mos Def, like a Common,
Yeah.
and those type of artists that really help shape hip hop. You know what I mean? And we're writing about that in our book as well. We have a section
Yeah.
that really sheds light on that, and I think that it's a yeah, man, you got some gold that came out of that era for sure.
Oh, for sure. Like I look at them Rockets records, I look at them as an equivalent in filmmaking, like as an A24 back then. Like independent, grinding
Mm,
it out. Didn't have the sheer or like glamour of like obviously like maybe more high profile or just long established record labels, but they were getting it out the mud and they were putting the rap, the kind of rap that was needed during that era, especially around the shiny suit era. Like they were hoisting up the more traditional conscious driven music that was probably needed to create that balance. So shout out to
absolutely.
Rockets Records. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in that era after, after you have the brand Nubians and the X Clan and all of those,
Yeah.
when those artists kind of fizzled out from the mainstream or wouldn't get in the looks, like these were that era that kept that sound alive and kind of took it to the next
Right.
level where they were able to put some songs out that were catchy enough to go more mainstream.
For
Um
sure.
in that era. Because Most Def and Talib Kweli both ended up having some songs that were able to reach the masses too. And I think that they laid a blueprint that ended up leading to the Lupes, to the Kanyes, to the J. Cole's, to the Kendricks. You know what I mean?
To the
I don't
Kendricks, yeah.
we don't get those if you don't have the Most Defs and the Talib Kweli's and if you don't have those artists, the comments, you don't even prepare people's mind to be able to
Yeah.
appreciate a Kendrick. You know?
Right. Cause like when I was listening to Black on Both Sides, I was thinking I couldn't help but think to myself, there wouldn't be a Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Like the way it was like crafted, bro,
Mhm.
without this project. Like it was clear as day. It was almost like a switch had gone off in my mind. I was like, so his influence, his impact, most depths is like immeasurable. Like it's crazy now seeing it even 25 years later.
Absolutely, man. And Most Def is on definitely on a playing by himself. Like I said, I'm with you as a fan. There are certain artists, man. I'm sure you have some other ones too, but like certain artists, they just make me mad that they stopped making music. Most Def is on
Yeah,
there for me. Andre 3000 is on there for me.
absolutely.
Lauren Hill is on there for me. It's just
Yes.
like, bro, I think some artists just aren't inspired. I feel like certain artists maybe feel like they said everything they wanted to say, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Or they just like, this is what I've learned too. Certain artists just don't care. Like they're like, yo, music was never my passion. I only did this long enough so I could do something entirely different, or make music in on a whole nother plane. Like watching Andre 3000 perform, bruh, like flute Andre, not obviously like rapping Andre.
Oh, okay.
I was like, yo, first of all, he's hilarious. He did like a flute number, and I think for the most part, he kind of like just does whatever. I don't think he actually is like
Mhm.
playing songs in like structure. Like I think he's kind of just playing whatever comes
He was up
to
there
mind in his heart.
freestyling with a flute.
Yo, pretty much that's what it sounded like. I
Well,
heard the
people,
album. It didn't sound like the album. Like, you know
mm,
what I mean? So
that's
yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
I
And
feel
then
sorry
he
that the fact that you sat through a whole flute album is crazy, but
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm not afraid to say this on the pod. I shed a tear, bro. Real talk. Not because of the flute. Not I want that to be clear. But I
shedding
just
a shedding a tear for a flute is crazy, bro.
I never thought I would see Andre 3000 perform. So I shed a tear. And then he did something funny, bro. He was like, he paused. Everybody stopped. Music stopped. Background, instrumentalist, everybody stopped. He was like, Abu Kab Duwabe, blah, blah. And he starts saying this like foreign like number, like whatever he's saying. And he was like, I just made all that S word up. Like it just like went to the rest of the performance, bro. I was just
Bro,
like, what is wrong with this dude? Like,
bro,
you know what I'm saying?
he is getting paid to troll people at this point, and I
He's
don't
trolling.
appreciate it. Yeah,
He's a
I really
troll.
think all of this is a troll, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think he's just playing with
Yo.
people, man. Because I like, I played the flute. I played it in the background of one of my classes. Is like sometimes I play lo-fi music in the background of my classes. So when that album came
Oh
out, I played it
wow.
as lo-fi in the background. Um,
Mm.
but it was it rap, please, please rap. Please. Or
Oh
sing.
wow.
I'll take another singing. I'll take another Love Below. You know what I mean? Even if you don't want to
I would
rap.
prefer Love Below. Yeah. I would
Yeah,
prefer Love Below.
I'll take a rap album because I just want to hear Andre 3000 rap album because we've never gotten a full him rapping album. But I'll take
Mm.
another Love Below. I'm cool with that too. Like, yeah, just we need some real we need some words, brother.
With some
We
words.
need some words, brother.
Uh
Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, shout out to them. But yeah, those are some of the artists that irritate me that they stop making music. And Mos Def is definitely in that category for me. Is there any other artists you could think of who are like you're like, dang, why you stop making music?
Mm. That's a good question. I mean, I feel like you named them for me. A part of me feels like I would want to hear another J album, but I feel like 444 or 444. Like I feel like that was his swan song. Like that's what a way to go out if you're gonna go out as a solo artist. I know he came out with the Carters with his wife Beyonce, but like as a solo act, if you're gonna go out like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
So
true.
yeah.
That's true. I definitely need another Jay-Z album too. But I'll take it. You gotta take what you can get. I'll take 444.
Yeah,
444 was a good exit if that's your exit.
100%. Like if
I don't think
that's
it though. I think Jay-Z
the
still got another one in him. I don't think he done.
I absolutely do. But I think like he said just enough on 444 for me to understand why he would bow out. But again, I feel like he still has more gems to drop, especially in this era, bro. I would love to hear him talk about the state of politics right now. I know like he doesn't really delve into that as in depth as maybe other stuff, but I would love to hear his stance on that with him like maturing even further as a father, artist, everything, businessman, everything. I would love to hear that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
Mhm.
I also like to hear another Locks album. I wouldn't mind a
Oh
lot.
wow, I haven't thought about them making an album. Wow,
I wouldn't
yeah.
mind that, especially after that, after how they got busy on that verses.
Oh, they cooked
I can't believe
my peoples.
I can't believe they embarrassed Dipset like that. That was just as somebody who grew up in Dipset era, that was just crazy.
And bro, I grew up a Dipset fan, so that was crazy to see, bro. But Jada Kiss, I give kudos, tip my hat to Jada Kiss, bro. Like that man he's undefeated in verses, bro. Like he brought that energy, like
Yeah, he came on a mission.
for sure.
And now the next topic we have is an interesting one. And this actually came to me because right before getting on this podcast, I was watching a YouTube video and a commercial, an advertisement promoting the BET Hip Hop Awards popped up. And I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like nothing in my mind cared. Like when I saw it, I was like,
Wow.
I didn't know that it was today. I don't really care that it's
Oh,
today.
it's today?
I believe it's tonight.
Oh,
And I
snap.
have
I didn't
no
know that.
intention of watching it. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
that made me think, and it's not even just anything about the BET Hip Hop Awards specifically. It's just I don't necessarily care about award shows anymore. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
growing up, award shows that was like big. Like I would watch all of them: BET Hip Hop Awards, the regular
Yeah.
BET Awards, MTV Awards, VMAs. I'll watch just about all of them when I caught them on.
Mhm.
What? Why do you think that they're dying off? What's happening?
Right. I could say so for me, they're just way too long. Let's start there. There's no reason
Mm,
why these programs should be 3.5, 4 hours long. That's one. Two, they get it wrong so much. People are already jaded enough to have to sit through that. And you get the awards wrong, bro. Like nobody wants to see that. I would say for particular award shows, let's say the BET Awards in general, not even just the hip hop awards, but the BET Awards in general. That happens I think it happens every June or something.
Yeah.
Like you see these artists, and you're like, okay, like these performances aren't really up to par. They're not as explosive or as cool as they probably should be, given the platform and millions of viewers that are supposed to tune in to see them. I also think another thing is we have too much access to these artists to care about them for award shows. Like we have too much. Like we can go on
That's a good
Instagram and
point.
see what like GloRilla, for example, feels about this, or what a Usher feels about this. We can YouTube their performances from
Mm,
weeks back. So like it's
right.
not exciting to see them in this format anymore because we have
Mm-mm.
such close proximity. I mean, we feel so close to them already, and we feel so overexposed, and and already an oversaturation of media out there based on these artists that an award show or platform doesn't really get us that exciting anymore. I used to get excited to see Chris Brown like perform like for the BET Awards or whatever, or the Grammys, for example, because I'm like, yo, otherwise, if he doesn't come to my city, I'll never see him perform. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I would say those are the elements for me mostly, but I want to double down and emphasize these award shows are too long. I know there's a lot of commercials, I know there's a lot of advertisements and advertisers and sponsors paying for their stuff to be displayed during these, TV blocks. But at the same time, bro, I don't care. I just want to get to the goods. Like, if you're gonna have me for 3 hours, have me entertained for all 3 hours. That's another thing I'm sure you'll probably talk about. People have far less their attention spans are far worse. So
Correct.
you know what I mean? If you're not really entertaining us in full, we're gonna go elsewhere.
Yeah, and I agree. I think social media has programmed us to only consume shorter form content.
Right.
And when we do consume longer form content, because many of us do on YouTube or
Mhm.
on streaming platforms, um, we're we're used to having the capability of being able to pause it and go back to it and kind of consume it in chunks. But we're not really programmed to consume anything that's 3 hours long anymore, or to sit in one
Yeah.
place for 3 hours at all for
Yeah.
anything, unless you're binge
Mhm.
watching a show, maybe. And even then, you
Right.
might turn it off and go back in later. So, like, yeah,
Mhm.
I think it's a hard sell. One of the biggest things that I think killed it is I think, and I can speak more so for the BET Awards. I think one thing that will become annoying, and I know BET Awards is no longer black owned, so that's a whole nother story that I'm not
Yeah.
even going that direction. But I did notice that people stopped. Most of the artists, the big artists, wouldn't go to those award shows anymore.
Facts.
They would just go to the Grammys. And I think that when you would watch those award shows and it'd be like, hey, so and so is going to take this in their behalf. And like none of the big artists would even be there anymore. Like
Yeah.
Jay-Z's, the Beyonce, the Kendricks, the Cole, none of them, Drake, none of them would even be in attendance. So,
Right.
um, you know what I mean? It's like, am I just gonna watch an award show to see Yo Gotti and Cardi B? And you know what I mean? It's like I'm not
Yeah.
even seeing the biggest stars of that genre. When people are watching the country music awards, I've never watched it, thank God. But if I ever had to, I'm certain that the biggest country stars are performing there.
For
For the
sure.
hip hop awards, if the biggest stars in that genre
Mhm.
aren't there, I think, or aren't performing there and aren't visible there, I think that takes away from it too. So I think those artists, for whatever reason, stopped supporting those platforms and going to those award shows or prioritizing going. And I definitely think that that took away from the allure of those hip hop award shows. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, that's just and I think that helped kind of kill the excitement for it too.
For sure. And then you have artists that are starting to come around. They want to attend these award shows, but these producers, these organizers and showrunners aren't really laying out the red carpet,
Mm,
literally and figuratively, for the artists in the ways that they should. Like a
right.
BET Hip Hop Awards doesn't herald any of these hip hop artists the way we would want them to. Even if like I'm not necessarily a
Mm,
fan of an artist's music, I still want a certain barrier. I want a certain standard to be hit. Like the
right.
BET Hip Hop Awards when I was growing up, like it still was a moment because I'm like,
Yes.
yo, I get to see these freestyles. They
The
used to have those
ciphers.
freestyle
The
ciphers. I
ciphers were
mean,
crazy.
bro, I know I'm going in for that. I get to see the best lyricists like go at it amongst one another or just join hands and do this this art form that we love so much. So the fact that that's not done or done as effectively, I haven't seen the hip hop awards in like years, bro. So
Right.
I don't know if they still do it, but the fact that people aren't talking about it, especially just given how social media is able to draw us to those kind of things, I haven't seen anything, bro. So that lets me know they're probably not doing what they need to be doing on that front. And secondly, you have artists. This is why I don't really. It's not that I don't respect or like I wouldn't be open to watching the country music awards, but knowing how they treated like black artists in the past, I can't really bowl with that. Like I don't really rock with that. Like the fact that Beyonce, who made undoubtedly country music, a country album, that she had, like she was wrestling with like having representation there. You know what I'm saying? I
She
don't
mar-
really
and she
rock
and
with that
she
either.
and she marketed it as country too.
She did. Cowboy Carter.
Yeah, I mean, wearing the photo shoots, the whole nine. Like she marketed it as a country album. So
Yeah. So, you know.
interesting. It's interesting. And on that note, this is a good transition to a random topic that actually isn't on our list, but I just thought of what that number one. I just found out. I've heard you mention a Shabuzi on this podcast before.
Yeah.
Mind you, I just recently realized that that artist is black. Let me tell you.
Bro, bro,
Let
you
me tell you.
just realized
I
that?
don't like country. I don't know why you think I'm playing when I say that, Earl. I hate
Bruh.
country music. It is the only, like I said, I love blues. I love
Mm-hmm.
the genres that led to it, but country music, throw it in the
Mm.
trash. But I just found out recently that Shabuzi was black. So I've been hearing in passing that
Mm.
remake of Jaquan Tipsy, and I was mad about it because I was like,
Mm.
I can't believe that they've appropriated Jaquan Tipsy. You took one of our Midwest classics, you know what I mean,
Yeah, it
and
is.
and and, and flipped it into a country. And then I saw him in a video clip online and was like, "Wait, bro, black?
Bro, you are so late to the game, bro.
I am very
But
late,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. And it's
Extremely.
hard. It's
I
hard.
don't be on TikTok, man. I be missing some of these little
Yeah.
moments. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and he was all over Beyonce's album. I actually had a opportunity to see it perform. Him and Gillian Wallow or Gilly's daughter, Wallow's niece, New York, LA. I actually had an opportunity to see them both at Roost Picnic this past summer and missed it. I was too late
Oh
to catch their
man.
performances. I was salty because I actually want to see Shabuzi and more so just the energy like surrounding him. I wanted to see that. But yeah,
Now mind
Shabuzi,
you, that
yeah.
doesn't make me want to listen anymore. But
It
it,
doesn't.
no, not at all. Not at
Wow, he
all.
got some tracks, bro.
It's still country music, man. It's funny because
Mm.
my mom knew this. She was like, "You didn't know that?" And I was like, "Nah." She was like, "He got some good music." I said, "Mom, I'm gonna take your word on it."
That's crazy.
If y'all find
Yeah.
me one good song, I only got one country song in me, so
Wow.
yeah,
I
that's all I got.
I think you would like Jelly Roll too. Jelly Roll isn't black.
I've
But he's
seen Jelly
like,
Roll. I've
yeah,
seen him before on social media
yeah.
with
And
the
he makes good
face
music.
tattoos and whatnot.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what's crazy, yo, I could be mistaken, but I first heard Jelly Roll on the documentary too, the Games album. I'm pretty sure that's
Ah,
Jelly Roll. And I heard him and I loved him on that album. It was different. It was because he has like a gravelly voice, but it worked for the album. I think documentary 2, especially 2.5, is a classic game album that nobody really talks about as much as they should. But anyway,
yeah.
Jelly Roll's on that and seeing him transition the country the way he has, very interesting as an interesting story. That's what country music is. It's a bunch of stories. That's really what it is. I'm not listening to Brad Paisley, but shout out to whoever does. You know what I'm saying?
God bless country fans, man.
Yeah.
All right. We have one more topic that we want to get through. And this specific topic came to my mind because there was a rap lyric that irritated me. And I wanted to see, I'll tell you all what the lyric was. Look, I want to say this loud and clear. I don't want to hear any more slave bars. Okay. I don't
Hmm.
want to hear I got whips like a slave. I got chains like a slave. Like, yo, let me that number one is just ignorant, you know what I mean? And slavery is too serious of a thing to minimalize to a goofy little bar like that for me.
Mhm.
But it's not only it's insensitive, and even outside of that, it's just trash. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
they've all been said before. Just let those die. Just let them die out. Now, I want to ask you: are there anything lyrically that bothers you in songs, like how slave bars bother me?
Yo, I think that tops the cake. The other bar that I'm thinking of is people just overuse the it's you and me and we got some Hennessy. Like, stop doing that, bro. Like, I feel like I
They take
love
the
Tupac.
pot. That's pot.
That's pop. That's pop. Like, and it's carried over like for 30 years, bro. Just let it go. Like, let it go. Like, you could do anything. Casamigos, Grey Goose. You could do anything else, bro.
Casamigos, my heroes.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else, bro. Like, you know
Let
what I
me
mean?
tell you, that is so funny because I've heard so many rappers do it. Like
Mm,
Pac was definitely, I think, the first one I remember doing it. He's done it on multiple songs.
yeah.
So I think that, yeah, I don't know why they don't let that die.
I don't know, bro. I think they think it represents like some Bonnie and Clyde, like hood love or something, bro. But it don't. Like it's just cognac, bro. That's all it is, man. Like switch it up, switch it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, no, that's an annoying one too.
Mm-hmm.
That's an
Yeah.
annoying one. And then like I also hate, and I heard GloRilla do it once on this album, but I've heard other rappers do it all the time. When they rhyme the exact same thing and they don't change the actual the word, so they'd be like, "Yeah, I'm with my people when we trapping, and we getting money because we trapping." I'd be like, "Oh, so you rhyme trapping with trapping? Oh,
It's
oh,
lazy, bro. It's lazy.
I see
That's
what you
what it
did there.
is.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
know
that's
what I
another
hate?
one.
You know what I hate? Now, bro, I could go on a tangent, my brother. But I'm gonna say I do not like this, and I want to be appropriate because I know I got, family, loved ones listening to this. But if a
Clean
woman,
podcast.
yeah, yes. But if a woman tells me it's like the ocean, it's like the Riviera, it's like, bro, I don't care. I don't want to hear this, bro. I don't want to hear it.
I've been hearing that in a lot of the songs lately too.
Bro, I heard it all throughout GloRilla's album. Like, bro, I don't care. Like, I don't want to know. You know what I'm saying? So I think like that's something that just needs to die. It's like, and they going from one aquatic comparison to another, bro. Like, just dead it, bro. And like a lot of these artists will do it on the same song. It's kind of corny now, man. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, I hated WAP when it came out. Like, I'm not listening to that, bro.
no, no, no,
Skip
I did too. When I first heard that, I was like, "Oh
it.
God, here we go."
Here we
Yeah,
go.
no, no. There's a lot of those bars, man. It's just so those are ours for today. Maybe we'll give y'all those periodically of ones that hopefully an artist will listen to and be like, you know what, let me not do that on this next song.
Right.
No, because it's just certain things just need to die. You know.
They need to.
I also am okay with ops dying too.
What you mean? Hold up,
Like
break that
not
down.
I had to say that in a different way. Like people talking about their ops and shit.
Oh, okay.
Like you using
Yeah.
that phrase. I think that it's been done enough.
Yeah. Yeah. It's over with, bro. Like, it's done.
The
I'm
term
tired of
op,
hearing, yeah, I'm tired
and
of
there be
op.
people you know don't have no ops or enemies.
That's what I'm
Like
saying. You a friendly dude. Like, people approach you in the street. Stop it. Stop
and
it.
just use the word enemy if you want to use it.
That's what I'm
No, it's
saying.
okay.
But disclaimer, do not say enemy
And
drinking all the
Hennessy,
Hennessy. Like, just don't do that. That's my
don't do it.
only
Don't do them
request.
together. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't do it. Don't
Enemy
do
and
it.
Hennessy is hilarious because there's been
It's
a lot of people who do that. It's like that's the
yeah.
only thing that they think rhymes with Hennessy.
Like, there's so many things that you can pick from, bro. It's just lazy, man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So,
it's very lazy. It is. It is. Pac
mhm,
did it. It worked. But
it worked.
everybody after you gotta let it go.
You gotta let it go,
And
bro.
and please
Man.
and just to reiterate, please no more slave lines.
No more slave lines. No more
Please.
skinny jeans with bulky Balenciaga
Now you ain't
shoes.
even talking about raps no more.
I
See,
know, I know. I'm just talking about stuff that bothers me, bro. We not we not even talking lyrics. We just talking stuff that needs to die. Yeah. Yeah.
nah, the big shoe, small pants is crazy. That's
Nah,
a
the
crazy
space.
little wave.
Yeah.
That's a
It
crazy
was,
wave.
bro. It is.
It is.
It
I was gonna say,
was
yeah,
and
ain't
it
no
is.
was. It is. They still doing it.
They still doing it with the spaceship boots, like style shoes. I don't get it, bro, but it's not for me to understand, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a Banana
Yeah.
Republic shirt on. There's no reason for me to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, nah. Some stuff is just, Some trends just don't make sense.
They don't make sense. And I kind of blame Kanye for the high-end designer like way, which I do appreciate low key. I do like that, especially artists that like do collaborations, with high profile like fashion houses. But to an extent, bro, like there's limitations. Some people just like a Uzi, I love them to death, just throws some stuff together that happens to have a purple label on it. Doesn't work all the
I'm
time.
gonna be honest too, man. Since we
Mm-hmm.
talking about things we don't like,
Mm,
I opened up Pandora's box with this one.
you did.
I'm gonna be honest. Can we in 2025 can gothic rap die?
Wow. It could. It could.
I think it's time.
It could. It could. And you know what's interesting? I think those gothic rappers. No, that's not funny. Never mind.
You was I know you.
I was about to say something wild.
That is not right.
See,
I
this is
know
why
what
you
you
need
was
a
doing.
co-host. You need a co-host to keep accountability in check. I was about to say
Yes,
something.
he was about to say
Wow.
something that was out of that would have had to get edited out of the podcast.
Absolutely.
Low key might still need to be.
I know. I'll probably cut this. I'm cutting it.
Yo,
What's
episode 15 of Rap and Reason podcast, man.
Yes, man. Another banger, bro. Even done virtually. We'll be back in studio, though. Don't worry, though.
We will
Yes,
be
sir.
back in studio, man. Just schedules and us being busy and working, man.
Yeah.
I envy people who are just like, this is their only job is podcasting.
I swear, bro. I swear.
Like, we both have very hectic careers outside of this. Me being a professor, Earl being a journalist. We both have very extreme careers, but we have not missed a Wednesday yet.
We haven't missed one.
No.
And we won't.
And we won't. As long as y'all keep subscribing, man. Make sure y'all are subscribed to YouTube at Rap and Reason.
Yes.
Make sure y'all are checking us out on Spotify and Apple. If you're listening that way, make sure you are rating the podcast, man. Show us love. Follow us on socials. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Rap and Reason. Personals mine is Dr. Jeremy C. McCool on
Mine is
Instagram.
Earl Hopkins _ on Instagram and TikTok, or E Hopkins Writes on TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Check us out, bro. And make sure y'all continue to listen to Rap and Reason. And we'll be back next week with some more dope hip hop reviews and discussions. Peace.
Peace.